Hey guys, what's happening? In this video review, I'm just going to do a quick retro review here of Energon Megatron. This is again one of my favorite Megatron molds that I have. Just a really cool toy overall, I think. Obviously, I've got him started out here in vehicle mode, which is kind of a giant starship kind of deal, and I think honestly this mode looks really cool. On his back, we got his tank form from Armada, which of course was part of the lovely Unicron trilogy. Armada was part 1, Energon here is part 2, and there's Cybertron is part 3. Unfortunately, I don't have Cybertron Megatron, but I do have Armada and Energon. Anyway, just this is his, like I said, his Armada form. It's simplified, but, it does a few things. It has a pretty good sized barrel on it, fires this missile, and that's pretty much going to wrap up this little piece. And you have the option, you can either mount it on his back or not in this mode. So I'll just take the tank, put it off to the side, and just give you a full view of his vehicle mode here. And honestly, I think this thing just looks really cool. It has a lot of good detail on it, and just an overall look at this thing is just, in my opinion, really cool. Looks just a cool looking kind of sci-fi heavy battle cruiser starship thing, and that's kind of an unusual mode for Megatron, but I think actually it fits, given that basically Transformers is in my opinion, kind of a kids sci-fi franchise. Anyway, I'll go ahead and show you some of the really good detailing is on the top here. As you can see, there's a lot of molded detail in the plastic there. We got some cool Decepticon logos on the wings, and it's just, like I said, overall it's a great looking mode. I really like it. Anyway, that's pretty much going to wrap up the vehicle mode portion of this. I will be back in a flash to go over robot mode. Alright guys, here I've got a Megatron transformed into his robot mode. And honestly, I think he looks a lot more like a Galvatron than a Megatron. I mean, just look at this guy. His body definitely screams G1 Galvatron. He resembles Galvatron much more than Megatron. I honestly wish I had kind of waited on the inevitable Galvatron repaint, because there is one of this mold where he's in the Galvatron colors, the purple instead of the gray. But, such is life. Anyway, he's really well molded. Ton of detail in robot mode. I'll go ahead and give you a quick 360 of him. And you got a whole bunch of options with this guy as far as how you want to pose him or utilize some of the parts of his body, for lack of a better term. Anyway, real quick, I'm just going to go over his articulation for you. Doesn't really have anything going on at the foot. Bends at the knee. Doesn't rotate at the knee. Leg goes forward, back, and out. Doesn't really have any leg rotation. No waist rotation. His shoulders, they can rotate, but they're a little restricted by the green cannon on his arm. Bends at the elbow. No wrist rotation. Obviously, same thing on the other side. And his head rotates some. And that's basically it for his articulation. I mean, it's decent for a toy this size. It's not, particularly great, but it's not bad. You can get him in some pretty decent poses. As far as his wings go, it's your choice whether you want to have them in or out. And they're pretty maneuverable, so you definitely got some options for basically whatever your preference is. Now, as far as how his tank integrates with his robot mode, it kind of mounts on his arm. Takes the place of his traditional fusion cannon. So I'll go ahead and do that real quick. Got the tank here. You just got two little points here on the bottom. Fold down. And it just snaps to his arm here. There we go. And now he's got a cannon. Pretty neat. There's one other thing you can do here with his tank. There's a little sword in his back. So all you gotta do is just take the tank, fired the missile there. Anyway, snaps on like that. And if you really want, I guess if you like the way that looks, that's an option for posing them that way. But you just grab the tank and you pull with it. Well, sometimes that works. Sometimes it's easier to get it out by hand. It comes with this little sword that was mounted in his back. That just plugs into the tank like so. And you can take the barrel off of them. And now instead of a cannon, you can give them a sword. So I mean, really, as far as what you do, it's up to you, whatever you like better. Personally, I'm more a fan of the cannon, but if you like the sword, that's definitely an option. Overall, I have to say, I really like this toy, and I would definitely recommend that you pick him up if you can. I'm not sure what he's going for on the secondary market. Either pick up the original Megatron or maybe preferably the Galvatron repaint. That's pretty much going to wrap this whole thing up. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I will see you next time.